Welcome creators, I'm delighted to welcome you to this first tutorial to launch your video, which might just help you win the AI Festival for Good competition. So we're going to have an absolutely crazy tool that we'll be able to use throughout the festival to produce your videos. It's really a gift from the festival to you, and having tested it is impressive. You're going to log on to athenachat.bot to chatbot. I imagine you have the link and you'll arrive on this page. Now don't panic when you see the first 9 boxes. That's not at all our subject. They're just inspirations offered by Athena. But we're going to go into a more professional mode and above all, discover this magic button, which is simply a little plus sign. When you press plus, you have the possibility to do lots of things. And we're going to start to create your video by generating an image. So generate, that means creating an image. To create an image, we have several solutions that we're going to go through together. The first solution is to write. Now, as you know, I already told you in the first tutorial, we can't use existing characters that are licensed, that have, well, you know. So we're going to create our own character, and to show you how to create a character, well, I'm going to take inspiration from the AI Festival for Good, which has a little lemur mascot, and I'm going to ask it, create a 3D lemur mascot for me. Oh, I misspelled it. 3D lemur in a cartoon universe, in an animated universe, let's say. I'm sure some of you are crazy about manga. So you see, I'm not putting much in. I want a little 3D lemur in an animated universe. And now I'm going to start it. So it'll think for a few minutes. During the video, I'm going to pause so as not to bore you. But be aware that it still takes some time to generate these images. And there we go, the image has been generated. You see this little lemur. Now it's not quite what I'd like. And I'm going to tell it, can you do it in a color that's more purple, because I know those are the festival's colors. And as you saw, to confirm, you just have to press enter, you know, like you'd confirm a message or anything else. If you press here, you start chatting with Athena, which isn't very interesting. On the other hand, here you have a nice little feature, record a voice message. It allows you to dictate to the AI, if you prefer, by voice, as if you were sending a WhatsApp message directly. So you see there, it changed the image. Well, it turned it purple, it slightly applied a filter. It's not amazing, and it's not the mascot of the festival after all. So we're going to see how we can finally do a bit more of what we want. And for that, I'm going to open a new chat. And just so you know, when the AI starts doing things you don't like, it's better to start a new conversation rather than trying to tell it to modify this, modify that, because often if it's gone off in the wrong direction, it's really hard to get it back and it takes time. So I'm going to create a new chat. I still want an image since that's our subject. And here's a little tip I'm going to give you. I'm going to go into my attachments. Let's move this so I can see where I am. In my attachments, I'm simply going to look for the AI Festival for Good mascot. And you see, I have the logo with it. I have the bar underneath and so on. Well, I'll see how it goes. And since I like playing along with you, I'll put myself in the scene and I'll say, can you feature the woman in pink? That's me, Elodie, with the little lemur in a, let's say, 3D animated world. There we go, good vibes. We can add more things. Let's see what it comes up with. So right now I'm in image generation mode, and you see I've added what we call ingredients, a bit like making a recipe. I added my lemur and I added myself. And you see the lemur is in 3D while I'm a photo. And now once again, I'll just hit enter. And I'll wait a few seconds or even minutes, sometimes when it's video or if it's lagging a bit. And there it is, look, I'm right in the AI Festival for Good of your dreams. In a world with little robots and northern lights, it's quite nice. You can see it kept my hair, my hat and so on, my jacket. And I have a little friend here. Look, the little lemur appeared right here. So are you happy with this image or not? You tell me. And if you want to modify it, well, we can certainly do that. So we can either do it in the chat. I think I'd prefer the lemur. Let's see. Lemur next to the woman in pink. And I'm going to re-upload the lemur anyway because I feel, I don't know about you, but it doesn't look much like him. Keep the look of the lemur in the attachment. Okay? I've re-added it. So logically, it should zoom out of the image and have the little lemur placed at my feet. Will it do that? Wait and see. Well, as you can see, the answer is not at all. It didn't do what I wanted at all. So instead, I'm going to go to the AI edit section because I can see that it just doesn't want to understand what I'm saying anymore. It happens, not all the time, but it happens. I'm also here to show you a bit how AI can mess up sometimes. And we learn by doing. Let's click on the AI edit button, and that will open a new chat for me. There we go. where I have the image I just created as an attachment, and now I'm going to give it some other instructions. I'll say zoom out of this image and put the little lemur at the feet of the lady in pink. Now, of course, I always enable image generation, okay? And I'll start it by hitting enter. And there, the AI has done the job. It zoomed out of the image and put the little lemur next to me. So, you see, by talking to the AI, I can do quite a lot of things. As for the other options Athena offers, like editor, print product, get music, or get a song, those aren't the functions to use for what we're doing today. So stick to the AI edit side or within the conversations. And of course, you can add those ingredients we mentioned, images to build your visuals or describe them in text format. There. So start with that. My first test is to say, well, create several characters, put them in different settings, and use different image styles. And if you ever don't know which style you want to use, do some research on Google, and then ask the AI to simply tell you what the style of the image is. I'll show you how to do it because it's a tip that can really change everything. So I'm opening a new chat, and I'm going to find an image I found. I'm sure you know the characters, and I'll ask it, can you describe the style of this image? There. So you see, I don't want to generate an image. So I hope that's what it'll do for me. I just want it to tell me how this image was made. This image, and there, it's magnificent. A montage bringing together the most famous icons of the shonen universe, and so on. And so now, I actually know what the style of this image is. The general style is that of Japanese anime from the late 90s and the 2000s. And look, I'll just take this part, copy it, and then go back to my previous conversation and tell it, here, revise. Actually, let me just make sure everything is clear before I do that. This image. Actually, let's do something better. We'll use AI edit so we're sure it hasn't forgotten. Revise this image in a style like this. There, of Japanese anime from the late 90s and 2000s. And now I'll start it and we'll see if it works well. Okay, I'm back. Did my image transform into an anime style? Well, no, because I think it already was, more or less, which is what I'd asked for at the start. So I tried it again while I was waiting with you, using just my photo. See, I gave it my photo, and I said revise this image in a Japanese animation style, and so on. And there it is. I have a manga look. I could be part of any book. So you see, what I want to show you is that sometimes AI doesn't work. Well, don't get discouraged. Open a new chat, test again, maybe test with another image. You're going to learn about test and learn, or learning by doing. It's really about testing and iterating to understand how AI works, to find your own way of working with it and succeed in making your images. All right, first, little assignment I'd say, try to create characters, try to create worlds. And I'll see you in the next tutorial to see how to create a storyboard like a real director. See you soon.